Hey guys, it's Kevin Bromancing the Stone, and today's video is going to be all about body positivity. Alright, so a big question that always comes up on my, that I get questions on all the time is concerning, body positivity and a lot of self-love. So I felt like I really wanted to make a video about this one, just because, I feel like body positivity and self-love is always something that gets skewed a lot in terms of what people think about it. So, I just want to get this out there. Body positivity and self-love is completely all about what you think about yourself, not about what others think about you. There's going to be some dweeb out there who's going to be like, "So Kevin, I shouldn't compliment anybody." That's not the case. You should definitely compliment guys. And it's one thing to say, "Hey, I find you attractive the way you are." But if the guy you're complimenting tells you, he's striving for something else, you have to respect that, rather than trying to tell him to, he should just stop what he's doing. Because it's ultimately going to come down to what they feel about themselves. It's a lot more important, and, if you've ever been in a relationship where somebody doesn't necessarily like themselves all that much, it's very obvious that you can go ahead and say all the kind words you want to them, but it's going to go in one ear and out the other. And until they get to a point where they're happy with themselves, you can't really, ask them to stop just because you think they're already somewhere that's great, because that's just for you. So that brings up, I'm obviously known for my hairy chest, and, I definitely do tend to like that in guys, but oftentimes I don't relate to, a lot of like the bear or the, bigger community, just because very often I see them, a lot of these communities that tend to think that they have a different taste in terms of the men they find attractive. Maybe they don't necessarily like your Adonis GQ model types. They're into maybe hairier guys, they're into bigger guys. And I think that's great. Absolutely everybody should have, their own opinion, and they should like their own thing. But so many of them resort to saying these things like, real men grow beards and real men have chest hair or stuff like that, while completely disregarding the fact that some guys are naturally smooth. And even to that, body positivity is not body policing. So if you meet somebody and, he's got body hair, but he chooses to shave it or wax it because that's what he likes, that's how he feels comfortable, you have to respect that. Don't demean him, don't tell him he's wrong for doing that. As long as he feels comfortable in his body, you just have to accept that. And maybe, eventually in time they will come to a point where they're happy with their body, and that's cool. And if they still prefer to do something that, is overall more comfortable to them, then yeah, just let them. It's not up to you to define how they feel comfortable in their own body. So that's my biggest thing about concerning that. And it's always just really annoying and disappointing how often I have to hear, guys telling people, other guys like, natural is hot. It is. But for some guys, smooth is natural. Like, that's how they're born. And it's just, it's annoying because, nobody can just let somebody else be. So, and on that end, like, body positivity, again, it's all about what you feel about yourself. Whether it be shaving, waxing, letting your body hair grow out, growing out a big, huge beard, getting piercings, getting tattoos, getting whatever you do to make you look in the mirror and like what you see. That's what's important. That's body positivity, not thinking you're doing someone a grand favor by complimenting them. That is not body positivity. That's being an asshole, basically. And, that certainly also often comes down to guys who are, hitting the gym really hard. Oftentimes I see guys telling like, "Oh, but you're perfect the way you are." Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. You're telling that, but don't discourage them from trying to, change the body in a way that they're happy with. If a guy you're with, whether he's bigger and he's trying to slim down, or he's smaller and he's trying to get like more buff or bigger, let them, because you're just doing them a disservice by trying to get them to concede to what you want them to be. Instead of like saying, yeah, tell them, yeah, you look great. You look great the way you are, and I like you the way you are. That's nice. But then continue with, if they still tell you, I want to go to the, I'm doing this for me, then just support them. Just be like, hey, go for it. Just Do whatever you want. But Kevin, gym culture is so damaging and everybody resorts to steroids and supplements that are really bad for you. Yes, some guys do resort to that, and it's awful. But like I said, you have to support somebody who's trying to do something in a healthy way. You know, this whole thing about steroids and supplements that go too far, those are the extremes. Those are the same thing as if somebody who's thinner and they're trying to get bigger all of a sudden goes about it by binge eating and eating a bunch of really poor foods, like, you know, having McDonald's every day or having a bunch of fried foods every day just to rack up the calories and get bigger. That's bad too. You're going about it by binge eating. That's, you know, when we're talking extremes, yeah, that's bad. You know, guys who want to get smaller and do it by not eating and or by like binge eating and then throwing up. Those are all extremes and those are all bad, and those are not what I'm saying you should do. Those are, I'm saying, and no matter what somebody's doing, as long as they're doing it in a healthy way and in moderation, then they're fine. I mean, I get that these guys, often guys go to the gym and they're like, I think they're expecting instant gratification. They're expecting to see results within a month or within a couple of weeks, and it doesn't. It takes time. But you know, what matters is that you give yourself credit for the little victories. Maybe you were really tired that day, but you push yourself to go to the gym, or you push yourself to go for a run. That's excellent. That's great. That's what I want to see. That's what ultimately is the biggest key to. It's not just about going to the gym and seeing results. You also have to get yourself to a mindset where you're just proud of who you are, and no matter what your goal is, no matter what you're trying to do, you should give yourself credit for what seems like the little things. You know. That's probably the most important part, because you can go to the gym and see all the results you want, but if you don't train your brain to be happy with yourself, not much is going to change. Definitely always take progress pics. If you're going to the gym, definitely take progress pics, because sometimes it's really hard to see your results as you're in the gym. It's really hard to see your results. But once you compare your pictures side by side from where you were maybe a month ago to where you are now, you'll see a big difference, and those will get you going. Those will motivate you even more. And another big thing that I always get asked about is motivation. Learn to make yourself your #1 motivation. Don't go because you want to impress some guy. Don't go for anybody else but you. Learn to be your biggest motivator. Learn to be your biggest motivation. That is the most important part to staying with the gym. I know it's really easy to lose motivation, but that's when you base it on something else. Focus on you. Focus on you being your biggest reason for doing anything. And if you're one of those guys who's trying to get started and trying to figure out what you want to do, first step, the biggest step, is just get in there and do it. Oftentimes I hear like, well, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't want to be embarrassed. This is going to sound harsh. It's going to sound, I don't know, take it the way you want it, but literally nobody's paying attention to you at the gym. Nobody's looking at you, nobody's judging you. Everybody's too busy doing their own thing. That's what the gym is for a lot of people. And if anybody's taking the time to look at you and judge you and stare, then they're not working out as hard as they should be. And, you know, don't focus on them. Focus on you. If you're worried about form and technique and you can't afford a personal trainer, you know, ask some of your friends who might work out. Ask them to come with you. Ask them to show you. Or even use the internet. There are plenty of great sources out there for technique and form that are going to get you started. And then you'll get comfortable, and before you know it, you'll be there as often as you can. You'll be there 3 to 4 times a week, and that's excellent. Alright guys, that's today's video. I just really wanted, in these past couple of days that have had a lot of negative news, I wanted to put something positive out there for you. And I hope that you guys take some of this advice and go with it and just try and be somebody that you like. So remember to subscribe for my channel. Things are, you know, still starting out, but I'm really enjoying making these videos for you guys, so if you go ahead and subscribe.